Hi guys, my name is Brooke. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today is the first video I've ever filmed. I decided to do a tutorial on the look I have on right now, so if you want to see this look, please keep watching. Okay, so first I'm going to start with the primer, and I'm going to use the Becca Evermatte Poreless Perfecting Primer because I have super oily skin and this is going to help control the oils throughout the day so that my makeup doesn't move. I'm just going to take about a pea-sized amount, like so, and rub it together in my fingers, in between my fingers, and then rub it downwards and kind of pat on my face to make sure that it's applied nicely. Okay, so today I'm going to color correct, and I'm going to go in with a green concealer from Sephora. This is their Bright Future color corrector. So I'm going to put some on my cheeks here. Sorry, there's a mirror behind the camera, so that's where I'm looking into. I'm going to put it on my cheeks to cancel out that redness. And then also I'm going to put some around my nose because I have some redness there. And now I'm going to go in with a damp beauty blender and blend everything out. So now I'm going to go in with foundation, and I'm going to use the Naked Skin foundation from Urban Decay. I'm going to shake this though, shake it up. And I'm going to go in with the beauty blender and just apply the foundation. Starting in the cheeks, around the cheeks rather. And I'm going to move my hair out of my way because I don't want it in my hair. I'm just going to blend it in patting motions to really blend that foundation into the skin. I want more of a full coverage today, so I'm going to use one pump for each side of my face because this foundation is buildable. And then also bring the foundation down your neck so you don't have a foundation line. And also like by your ears. Okay, so now that I have my foundation on, I'm going to go in with a concealer in a shade that's a little more peach to cancel out my dark circles. And I'm going to use the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Honey. I'm going to use this as a corrector. I'm just going to put it right under my eyes. Now that we have that peach corrector blended out, I'm going to go in with a concealer that's a little bit lighter than my foundation to give the look of like an illuminated right under eye. I love that look. So I'm going to use the Sephora, again, it's the same like formula as the green corrector I used. I really like this concealer, and I'm using mine in the shade 08. And I'm just going to go in and I'm going to put a triangle down my face. I brought this down a little far, but that's okay because we'll blend it out. And then just fill it in a little bit. So I'm going to take my beauty blender once again and just blend this out. And I'm being really gentle with my under eye because that's an area you definitely don't want to tug because it's very, very sensitive and it doesn't produce a lot of oils, so it just gets like damaged really easily, and you need to keep it nice and gentle under there. And then I'm going to do the same to the other eye. Okay, so I'm going to take that same concealer and I'm going to put some on the center of my forehead, down my nose, a little bit on my cupid's bow, and also on my chin to balance out that highlight so it's not really stark under the eyes and kind of not bright anywhere else. Just a little. A dab will do ya. I'm going to blend that out. Okay, so now that the concealer is completely blended out, I'm going to take the Mercier loose setting powder in translucent, and I'm going to pack it under my under eyes to bake, and I'm also going to put some across my nose because I do have super oily skin, so applying the powder can help it stay matte for longer. So I'm going to put some on my beauty blender, and I'm going to look up and tap it under my eye. I'm also going to put some down my nose. I'm honestly just going to put it everywhere we kind of highlighted. I'm focusing it in my T-zone too. Like, this isn't necessary, it's just that I do get super oily, so I want to do everything I can to prevent my oil from seeping through my makeup. So I'm going to let that powder sit on my face, and while it's sitting, or baking, I guess, I'm going to do my brows. So I'm going to take the Anastasia Brow Wiz in the shade Soft Brown. Basically, I'm going to brush my brows up. I'm going to fill in my brows. Now I'm going to brush that out again just to blend everything, and I'm going to do the top of my brow. So now that my eyebrows are done, I'm going to dust away the setting powder I used with the Real Techniques setting brush. I'm going to very lightly just dust away that excess powder under my eyes, on my nose, under my other eye. Just dust that gel off. Forehead, chin, wherever I put that powder, I'm just gonna dust it off. So now I'm going to take the Mercier translucent setting powder again with a Sephora powder brush, and I'm going to dust it all over the rest of my face just so that when I put on my bronzer and my blush and my highlighter, it goes on smoothly and it doesn't stick to the foundation. I'm going to tap off the excess and then just swirl it on the rest of my face. And also, any brushes will do. You don't necessarily have to get your brushes from Sephora. Morphe has great quality, affordable brushes. I love Morphe. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to bronzer, which is probably my favorite part. I'm going to use two bronzers today, which again isn't necessary, but I'm very fair. I'm not usually this pale. So I'm going to go in with a Too Faced powder brush and the NARS, trying to blind you, the NARS Laguna bronzer. I love this bronzer. I have used at least, I want to say 2 to 3 pans. So I'm going to start by really focusing on the perimeter of the face. Now I'm going to go in with Benefit Hoola bronzer. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to swirl my brush in there and tap it off. And I'm going to layer this over top of the NARS bronzer. The reason I'm doing this is because the Hoola bronzer is a little bit darker, so I did want to put that NARS bronzer down as like a transition shade so it wasn't too blotchy on my face. I'm just gonna swirl this on, bring it down the jawline, try to get rid of my double chin. You feel me? The struggle. The struggle. I'm just blending it out with a powder brush because I want to make sure that I don't have streaks on my face, because sometimes I can be a little bit heavy-handed. Okay, so now I'm going to do blush, and I'm going to use Geek Infatuation, which is this blush right here. It is gorgeous. I know it's like one of their most popular blushes. I'm going to take a Morphe G8, so I'm going to dab in the blush 1 or 2 times and dust it off a little bit so I don't have too much blush. So I'm going to take some blush on the cheek. On the cheek. It's funny that I used color correctors to cancel out my redness, and now I'm putting redness back in. Right? Logic, am I right? And now I'm going to go back in with the powder brush I use and just blend that out, just to make sure everything is easy peasy and blended. So now I'm going to highlight, and I'm going to use Champagne Pop by Becca. So I'm going to put this on the top of my cheekbones. I'm just going to go in with a light hand and blend it out, and just put it on the top of my cheekbone. And I'm also going to take some of that highlighter and put it on my Cupid's bow. And then I'm just going to go in with a powder brush one more time just to blend everything out. I just want to make sure everything looks even. Okay, so I'm going to set my brows now, and I'm going to use the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. This is super glue for your brows. It is incredible. It's amazing. Okay, so now I'm going to do the eyes, and I'm actually going to take some tape and put it on the outer corner of my eye because I'm going to do wing liner, and I want that wing to be able to cut a man. Okay, so I'm going to move it so it's like at the arch of my brow, and I'm going to bring it down to my lower lash line, and I'm going to keep it at that angle and just stick it. Just stick it to your face. So now that I look a little crazy, I'm going to take Peach Smoothie by Geek, which is this peach shadow right here, and I'm going to put this into my crease as a transition color. Blend this bad boy out. The eyes are, the whole makeup is about blending, but especially your eyes. You don't want harsh lines. Unless you like harsh lines, then go for it. And I totally forgot to use primer, but that's okay because I put concealer on my lids, which can act as a primer. I'm really going to build this color up because it's really beautiful. It's a nice wash of color to act as a transition color. And I forgot to say, I'm using a Morphe M504, which is great. It's a great blending brush. Now I'm going to go in with Geek Creme Brulee, which is the third color on the top row right here. and I'm going to put that slightly tighter into my crease. I love Makeup Geek shadows because they are super, super affordable and the quality is incredible. I'm just going to blend that with the same Morphe M504. You could also go in with a smaller brush, but I'm just going to use the same brush. Now that I've got those two colors laid down, I'm going to go in with Makeup Geek Frappe, which is the 4th color, right here. And I'm going to put that the tightest color in the crease. I'm using all these shadows for transition colors because I want my shadows to have a gradient effect when I go in to do the look. When you're blending your eyeshadow, it's important to just take your time and really focus on moving back and forth in windshield wiper motions, and you can do circular motions too, just to really make sure everything is blended. Okay, so now I'm going to take Cocoa Bear by Makeup Geek on this Too Faced brush, and I'm going to focus it in the outer corner. But I'm going to focus this more on the lid and not so much in the crease. Now I'm going to go in with the new Morphe M433 and I'm going to blend that out just so I don't have any harsh lines. And now I'm going to go in with Half Baked from the First Naked palette, and it's this color right here. And I'm going to put that all over my lid. So I'm going to take the Makeup Geek shadow, which is Rapunzel right here, and it's a nice highlight shade, and I'm going to spray my Morphe M205 with some shadow. Brooke, get your shit together. I'm going to spray my brush with a little bit of MAC Fix Plus to give that shadow a more foiled or wet look. And I'm going to take this just strictly on the inner corner of my eye to make this look pop. So now I'm going to take Rapunzel again, and I'm going to dip my brush into the pan with the same M205. I'm going to apply this to the brow bone. I'm just going to do this at the very top of my brow. I'm just going to blend it out. Okay, so now comes time for the eyeliner. I'm actually going to steal my sister's. She just got the new Kat Von D. Actually, I probably shouldn't do that because she'll probably watch this. This is the Maybelline Master Precise eyeliner in black, and it's just like a felt tip pencil. I really, really love this eyeliner, and it's from the drugstore. So the way I do my wing liner is I set up my tape beforehand, and I'm going to start and draw the wing and then connect it, and like, you'll see. So I drew the line, the wing line, and I'm going to now go onto my lid. I'm stressed. So now I'm going to take the tape off of my face very delicately, very lightly. And I'm going to go in with my beauty blender to just touch up the makeup it pulled off. And now I'm going to tightline and put false lashes on off camera, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now that I've tightlined and done false lashes, I'm going to put eyeliner on the bottom waterline. Okay, so for lashes, I use the Ardell Dummy Wispies in black, and now that I've done those off camera, I'm going to put the NARS, this is the same eyeliner I used for the tightline. It's the NARS Larger Than Life Longwear Eyeliner. This stuff will not smudge, will not move all day long. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to put it in the bottom waterline. Okay, so now that I have lined my lower waterline with eyeliner, I'm going to take a Morphe M432 brush and Makeup Geek's Cocoa Bear, and I'm going to put this on my lower lash line to blend that eyeliner out. And now I'm going to take a Morphe M433 brush with a little bit of frappe on it and blend out that shadow I just put down there. Oh, the last step for this look is the lips, and I'm going to use Dose of Colors Truffle. It's a matte liquid lipstick, and it's gorgeous. Gorgeous. Okay, I lied. The last step is setting spray. I'm going to use MAC Fix Plus all over my face to set my makeup. Okay, so this is the completed look. I hope you like it. This was my first YouTube video, so comment down below what you want to see next, like the video, and subscribe. See you next time.